Hey everybody, and welcome to the Grumpy and Shadow Show.
I'm Grumpy.
And I'm Shadow.
And today we're going to talk about the Survivor Series, SmackDown versus Raw. So let's get to it.
Alright, so they started off with a dual kickoff show. They had the Cruiserweights 6-man tag from NXT. And that pretty much went as planned with Mr. Perkins and his team pulling out the win. Then they had their first singles match, pitting Kane against Luke Harper. Both of them looked strong, but in the end, Kane was just too powerful and got the pin. Overall, the kickoff show was not bad. It was not impressive, but it was not bad. But that brings us into the main show and the Raw versus SmackDown women's match.
So they started out with the women's match. They had, on the Raw side, Bayley, Elisa Fox, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. Boo. Becky Lynch, Naomi, Alexis Bliss, Carmella, and Natalya. And we had Natalya. She replaced Nikki, who was injured before the match. Alright, now the first one eliminated Lisa Fox on the Raw side was Elisa Fox. She was eliminated. Sasha Banks, that was kind of a disappointment because I expected more out of Sasha Banks, so I wish she was kind of last. Then we had Nia Jax. Nia Jax submitted from Becky Lynch with the disarmor, and that was a loss for her. The two remaining, Charlotte and Bayley. Bayley gave Becky Lynch the belly, pinned Becky Lynch. Charlotte and Bayley were celebrating. Charlotte attacks Bayley, and I think there'll be some match in the future.
Yeah. And then they had the Intercontinental title match.
That was Miz versus Sami Zayn. To make it short, Sami had the Miz in a four-figure leg lock. The Miz was ready to tap out. The bell rang. We looked. It was the Miz's wife. She rang the bell. She was blaming the timekeeper. Sami thought he won. He's got his hands raised. And then the Miz sneaks behind him, rolls him over. The referee goes 1, 2, 3, and that was it. The Miz retains his championship.
Another match won by his wife.
That's right. One match won by his wife. You got that right.
Tag team. Tag team. Tag team SmackDown versus Raw. Well, in that match, it looked pretty. It was a back and forth. It was pretty good. It wasn't as lopsided as I thought it would be. But,
yeah, the Gallows, they didn't really stab anybody in the back, really. They said they were gonna, but they really didn't. Big Cass and Enzo. I'm surprised, but they got it out of it pretty quickly.
Now, who got pinned on that team? It was Enzo or Big Cass?
Enzo got pinned on that side. Rhino and Heath Slater. I think Heath Slater did a pretty good showing. I think they're getting stronger. I think they're on the right page. I was kind of disappointed. I thought the American Alpha would do a lot better. You know, they're an upcoming strong team, but I thought maybe they would have won it, but they didn't. Who won it was Sheamus and Cesaro. Even though they won, they don't really seem to be on the same page right now. And if they want to be successful, they really need to be on the same page. There's still a lot of egos in there.
A little bit of friction after the match.
Still a lot of friction, a little bit of ego.
Yeah, it seems to be. It's funny. They have the friction, and yet they still keep winning, which is kind of odd.
Right.
Then they had the Cruiserweight title. Now, I thought Kalisto was going to take this. But Brian Kendrick kept the title, and it stayed on Raw, which kind of changed a few things on the horizon for what's in the future of Raw. Now, the reason why Kalisto didn't come off with the clean win was because Baron Corbin jumped in there and basically attacked both of them, making it a no contest. So the title stayed with Brian Kendrick. He didn't have to win. He didn't lose. It was just a no contest. It was basically a stale match. But now we get to the first main event. Raw versus SmackDown singles competition. And there were a few surprising results in that match. One was Braun Strowman being eliminated by, or with the help of, James Ellsworth.
Out of everybody, James Ellsworth?
James Ellsworth, as the SmackDown mascot, gave a slimy, underhanded assist to Team SmackDown in getting rid of Braun Strowman by holding his leg underneath while he was under the ring so that Strowman couldn't make it in by the end of the count. Second surprising thing was the non-pin pin of Shane O'Mac. Shane O had Roman Reigns in the ring, and he had him in the corner, and he was going for the drive-by. Oh no, he was going for the coast-to-coast. And he jumped off, and Reigns speared him, but when he did, Reigns' head, it appears Reigns' shoulder, smacked into the bottom of Shane's head, knocking him completely out. The referee went for the count, and by the time he hit 2, he realized that Shane was out. Never even finished the count, just eliminated Shane, which was the smart thing to do. Had the medics come in and they carried him off, and they carted him off to the back after a few minutes. He definitely is getting checked for concussion, as he was out for I believe they said he was out for like a good 6 minutes. So that was another example of the accidents that happen in the ring and why these things should not be done without proper supervision. The third and final shock of the evening was the temporary reuniting of the Shield. Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose teamed up against AJ Styles, Ambrose's teammate, and gave him a Shield bomb through the announce table.
And keep in mind, Dean Ambrose was on the opposite team.
Right, it was Ambrose's teammate. After Ambrose got eliminated, he came back and helped his former Shield members take out AJ Styles. He'd come out, he had attacked AJ himself. Security guards came out and tried to muscle him to the back, and the Shield came to his rescue, at which point the three of them got together and ended AJ Styles for that match.
I wonder if slowly they're trying to get the Shield back together.
Well, maybe. Depends on how things play out with titles. But in the end, the Shield reuniting and taking out AJ Styles didn't help the team any. It came down to Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, and Reigns looked like he was doing okay until the appearance of Luke Harper. And the three Wyatt families, that's right, I said the Wyatt family, including Randy Orton, took out Roman Reigns and won that match.
But I think Reigns put on an excellent showing.
Yeah, and my thing is, the two big mouths were basically eliminated first. I mean, Kevin Owens was disqualified by using a foreign object, which was
Chris Jericho's The List.
Chris Jericho's, medal list. And Jericho was just, without his best bud, he was useless.
And he got pinned 1, 2, 3.
So, yeah, that was the most interesting match of the evening. And why I say that is because our last match, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, with all the hype and all the promotion and everything that went into pushing that match, ended in a mystery. And when I say a mystery is Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in 1:27 seconds.
One thing I got to say about that, Goldberg, baby.
The thing I got to say about that is it was just like a Tyson fight. You go there, you blink, it's over. And the question is, what the hell happened? I mean, first, the odds in Vegas on Survivor Series all said Lesnar was going to win. Up until the last minute. Then the odds all flip-flopped on every match in Vegas. Now, I can understand them saying, okay, we're going to put Goldberg over, but we're going to stretch it out to make them both look good. Or we're going to put Brock Lesnar over, but we're going to make it such a show that even if Goldberg loses, he still looks like, looks good. Now, I understand that there was a non-conclusion to his contract. Meaning, at that point, he had only signed a one-match deal and wasn't sure if he was going to go for any more matches. Maybe this was part of their package to convince him to take on a few more matches. Was, hey, we'll let you win in record time, and you can, if you agree to sign for, WrestleMania and Royal Rumble.
Because it is concluded that he will be at the Royal Rumble, because it didn't say everybody's next.
Right, and the I don't know if it's a weird thing, but the coincidence is that Brock Lesnar lost to Goldberg. Goldberg was the first man announced to be entered into Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar was the second man to be announced in the Royal Rumble.
So I wonder who's going to eliminate who.
This would only be Goldberg's second Royal Rumble, and the first one ended exactly that way. Lesnar ran in after he was eliminated, beat on Goldberg, and then eliminated him. And I have a feeling history is going to repeat itself, or it's going to try to repeat itself, which would be a great angle. Lesnar comes running down, goes to beat him up and get him eliminated, and Goldberg just turns around and beats the hell out of him and tosses him out. Says, not this time, not this time, this is my time. And he wins the Royal Rumble, and he gets a shot at anything he wants at WrestleMania, and he makes that Brock Lesnar.
Bill Goldberg will bring in the crowd at WrestleMania, so maybe that's what their thinking is.
Yeah, it still just doesn't make sense. Why would they make a match so end so fast? What did they have, like 4 moves in the whole match?
Brock wanted to come out as aggressor. He kind of pushed Goldberg into the corner, and Goldberg said, nope, that's it. And
shoved him back.
He shoved him back, and, that's all she wrote.
No, after he shoved him back, by the time Lesnar got to his feet, Goldberg was already lined up for his first spear. And it was a devastating spear. I've never seen him hurt the way he appeared to be hurt after the first spear from Goldberg. And if that wasn't enough, on his return to his feet, Goldberg hit him with a second spear. I think what we're forgetting is that A, Goldberg is a superhero, which means he's a face. And you're going to have 2 heels against the face. B, John Cena has to come back at some point. Whether you hate him or you love him, he's going to come back. And whether AJ wants to believe it or not,
he's not.
Cena is still the face that runs the place.
And AJ Styles is not.
Now, I have a feeling after this Shield reunion going after AJ, that the next SmackDown pay-per-view, which is in 2 weeks, it's going to be a TLC pay-per-view, is going to put Dean Ambrose against AJ Styles in maybe a hardcore match. Maybe a tables match, maybe a whole TLC match. I'd rather just see tables and chairs. Using the ladder and putting the belt up on it, it's, you know what's going to happen. Either one of them is going to grab it down, or somebody's going to be playing with the little joke with, hey, let me move it up a little higher until the
tables and chairs minus the damn ladder.
Yeah, tables and chairs. Yeah. Throw the guy through a table. Call it a day. That would be the main event for that pay-per-view, in my opinion. AJ Styles against Dean Ambrose in the TLC match. Watch it. Okay, so you've heard my opinion, and you've heard his opinion. Now we'd like to hear your opinion. So leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. You can also join us on Facebook and Twitter. The addresses to both are in the description. And as always, have a good night.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, or 2 spears and jackhammers are coming your way.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Beautiful.